I'm going to show you how to create lessons in Nearpod with your already created material. So I have a Google slide presentation open that I have created in making this Nearpod lesson for you. And I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to Download, and I'm going to download it as a Microsoft PowerPoint. And then once I do that, my file will download, and then I will go to Nearpod, and I have a tab already open, and I'm going to click Create, and I'm going to create a lesson, and then a slide will pop up, and now I'm just going to drag my download up there. If I didn't have it already downloaded right here, I could drag it up there. I could go into my folder and I could search there also. But I already have it here, so I'm just going to drag it. Oops, now I opened it. So I'm going to drag it up there. I'm going to have to close that really quick. Can't make a mistake, can't make anything, right? So now I'm going to drag my PowerPoint up there, and it'll take a while, depending on how long your PowerPoint presentation is or your Google slide, it'll take a while. You can also drag PDFs and JPEGs and pictures into the Nearpod, because like I said earlier, when you put things into Nearpod, they're loaded as pictures, and you are then using those pictures to create with. And so I say, okay. And when you put a PDF, it will ask you if you want it in one continuous PDF or if you would like each page on a slide, and that's just a personal choice. And so once that gets up there, then they all pop into place and I can start editing. And so I could go in here and I double click on my slide, and this is where I can add voice and audio, and so I can do that here, creating lessons in Nearpod, and save there. And then once it's uploaded, then you save here. So it's a double save when you're adding voice to a slide in Nearpod. And you can also then, if you have content added that you want to turn into something else, you can convert it to a draw it slide. So if I wanted somebody to right here on this one, if I want to convert it to a draw it slide, I can do that, and I can keep the original or I can duplicate it. So if you say yes, you'll get two of the same slides. One of them will be a draw it and one of them will be your original. And depending on the content, sometimes I do have two slides so that I can read the directions prior to taking the kids to the draw it slide. But for this one, I won't. And so now I'm going to have a draw it slide out of that let's practice slide. And I can go in and edit that draw it slide as well. And I can add instructions, I can add a picture or whatever. And most of the time I add voice here. So this is just for practice, and you can see that it's not formatted like I want it to be. So sometimes I have to go in and change a picture, but I could add an audio recorder and I could say, highlight the important words on this slide. Or I could say, draw a picture to show, or draw lines connecting. So you could do matching columns and things like that. Draw it slides are pretty awesome because you can have kids do math. And with a draw it slide tool, they can use text, they can use their finger. If they have a touch screen, they can use their mouse, they can add pictures. It's a pretty open canvas for kids to use. And so then I save that. And again, it has to finish saving here, and then I would save my slide there. I can also add to my already created. So if this is not an activity or anything of itself, I can go in between a slide and I can add a slide and add a video, a slide, a vocabulary, all of these things. I can choose to add those things there. So if I wanted to add web content and I wanted to just add claremore.k12.ok.us, I can test the link to make sure that it's going to work. And it does. And so then I could save that, and I could say on the slide before, go to this website and find 3 interesting facts about Claremore Public Schools. So another really cool thing that you can do, and I love this so much, is you can copy from other Nearpod activities that you have created or somebody else has created. And so I have this lesson that I have here that I add quite frequently to my Nearpods because it's telling kids how to use the immersive reader. So I go in here and I'm going to copy that. And then I can come over here to this presentation. And since I'm taking them to a web page, I can paste that right there. And it tells them how to use the immersive reader tool on this website. And I just copied and pasted. You can also add at the end, and you can come up here and add a slide, and then it's going to ask you if I want to add content, and you can see all of the things that you can add here, or you can add an activity, and you can create a matching pair. And so if I did that, I could go in, and I'm going to add a pair, and I'm going to add the word red, and then I'm going to add an image, and I'm going to look for red here. And then there we go. And so now I have that pair. Oh, it didn't do it. Let's try again. Can't make a mistake, can't make anything. Sometimes when you search an image, they don't upload as a JPEG and you just have to go in and find a different one. So it's not that big of a deal. I've not had that very often. I can add another pair, another color word, add an image. You can also do word to word, word to definition. Just, you can just be creative in all of these things. So here's blue. Let's see if that one adds. And then you can be finished. And so then once you can add instructions here if you want to. Then you save it. And this is going to add at the end of my lesson. But if that's not where you want it to be, then you can just you can take it and drag it and put it wherever you want it to. The really best way to learn how to do this is just to go in and mess around and see what happens. Like what happens when I click on a VR field trip. And you can look for things like my favorite place in the world, Sanibel Island. And if there's something there, then those things will pop up. And this is the Sanibel Lighthouse, and I can preview it and see what it's like, or I can just add it. And then kids go on a field trip there. And again, I can move that wherever I want to. I usually add a slide here with directions for what I want them to be looking for. And then there's something after where I want to add a slide and I want to add an activity, and I can add an open-ended question. And of course, it's not working on there. Sometimes you have to do it more than once. Oh, here we go. And I can ask an open-ended question. So just go in and play around. And here I can add video or my voice. I can let students voice record their answer. I can type my question. So the possibilities are limitless.